The Detroit Lions are still trying to work on their relationship between Calvin Johnson and themselves, and it has been quite a bit of progress made in the last few months, and we hope to get this thing done by the beginning of the season so that way Calvin Johnson can be in the fold, and we really need him to be. What greater knowledge could he give to a guy like Jameson Williams than, you have the Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson, a guy that I remember turning on the Lions during that 0-16 season, watching him play. He was the highlight of that miserable season. But Calvin Johnson spoke on the adversity that Jameson Williams is going to, and here's what he had to say. Now, this is coming from Ryan Imani. He actually works for Fox 2. That's his day job, and then you will see him on Woodward Sports as well. Here's what he had to say. Let's check it out.
You went through adversity early in your career. You were 0-16. You had played through an injury in year 2. Yeah. Jameson Williams is a guy that's going through some adversity at the start of his career. What advice would you give to him as he embarks on year 2 here with the Lions?
Yeah, we've seen the adversity that he's been through. We're here living with him, and it's unfortunate, but adversity is going to come. It's always going to be adversity, when in anything that you do, even if things are just seemingly going right, there's always going to be some level of adversity, but it's really just how you interact with that adversity. How do you combat that adversity? Do you allow that adversity to, hold you down, or do you push up? Do you thrive? Do you stand back up? So this is all about getting back up. No matter how many times you get knocked down, you just got to keep on getting back up, and you'll find success.
And that is what a quote, what a piece of dialogue from Calvin Johnson. Not only you're going to go through adversity, and he was being nice to me, but being a player of the game, he can probably relate to what Jameson Williams is going to. Calvin Johnson was once a 22-year-old as well. But the adversity, how are you going to react to the adversity? How are you going to thrive, or are you going to let that adversity get the best of you? Now, Jameson Williams brought this upon himself, and he is getting adversity, having not being able to play, getting critiqued by fans such as myself, and also the media just ripping him apart. And while our goal is not to be overbearing on the kid, we know what he can do. We want to see what's best for him, and what's best for him will also be what's best for our team as well. So Calvin Johnson seems like he understands the kid, and my thing is, and again, I will continue to call him a kid until he acts like an adult. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but Jameson Williams is a young man. I am 22 years or 21 years older than him, and to me, he's making kid decisions. So I refer to him as a kid. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But Calvin Johnson has the opportunity to mentor Jameson Williams, and I think this would be huge for him to do. Could you imagine the conversations between Jameson Williams and Calvin Johnson, the knowledge that Jameson Williams would get from Calvin Johnson? But in addition to that, the thing about when you came Jameson Williams' adversity, the goal is, will he learn from that adversity? We have yet to see, right? So when he comes out of this suspension, there's a second round of suspensions going around coming soon. And hopefully the Detroit Lions have no other players on the roster that will be part of that. But how Jameson Williams responds to this adversity is really going to tell us a lot about the future of this young man. So I hope that he hears what Calvin Johnson is saying now. I hope that the Lions repair that relationship sooner than later. And my hope, like I said to begin this video, is when Jameson Williams, by the time Jameson Williams take the field in October, that Calvin Johnson is back in the mix. So the Detroit Lions, hopefully they can work something out in the 4 months between now and then, 4.5, almost 5, and get Calvin, Hall of Fame receiver, back into the mix. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Calvin Johnson and his words to Jameson Williams. How do you feel about him? Let me know down below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.